Deputy Mezek, this interview came about after listening to the so-called hot seat programme on local state radio, or the Chief Minister's monthly party political broadcast, as it's becoming known. What were your concerns after this last party political broadcast?
I think what concerns me the most is the context we find ourselves in at the moment, where the government of Jersey, led by Ian Gorst, Philip Ozer, Philip Bamash and Alan McLean, has racked up a £145 million budget deficit, and it's about to put forward a series of measures which we're going to debate in the States in 2 weeks' time, which are going to involve £90 million worth of cuts to public sector jobs and services and £55 million worth of tax rises on ordinary working people, as well as introducing user pays charges for things which currently are funded through direct taxation anyway. And this is a debate which we didn't have during the election. These are measures which the government has only told us about after the election. So now that the debate in the States is coming up, the debate the public should be engaged with should be one which is incredibly robust and which people on all sides of the argument have very strong views to put across about the solutions to this problem. And we're not seeing that at all. The message that's coming across in the media, in my view, is one which has completely accepted the Chief Minister's line, which cuts are necessary, and the only debate we can have is on what those cuts are, rather than whether those cuts are necessary in the first place. And to help him along his tasks to do that, the BBC gives him a monthly propaganda hour where he's there, unchallenged, able to say what he's doing, why he's doing, without any opposition voices there having an opportunity to challenge him. And I don't think that the presenter of this programme is doing that job at the moment, and he's not inviting other people on to appear on the programme with him to challenge him instead, which I think is what would happen in any other media outlet. You know, we watch things like Newsnight or Question Time on the BBC nationally where they provide that. We don't have that here. And he turns up to these programmes and he says how much he looks forward to them. Well, when you're about to put forward £145 million worth of cuts and tax rises, you should not be looking forward to a programme like that. You should be scared about it, because you're going to have to justify things which are very difficult decisions. And from my perspective, as somebody who was elected on a mandate very clearly that said we will not be supporting a cuts agenda, we'll be supporting a growth, investment and tax agenda to make things fairer across the board, we're not being given a fair say, we're not being given a voice, and the Chief Minister gets it handed to him on a plate.
I suppose I just want to pick a little bit there, like you say, the presenter, and this is no disrespect to the presenter, because I think he's just a disc jockey. I don't know, he could be a journalist, I don't know, but he's certainly not a political correspondent. So I don't blame him for this, but whoever gave him that task, this to host the Chief Minister's
propaganda
hour, who was that person who chose him to do this? Because surely Chris Rayner is a political correspondent. Mm-hmm. Matthew Price, as right-wing as he is, he at least he's researched. He should be hosting this. Somebody capable, would you agree, should be hosting this political debate, who is able to challenge the Chief Minister's propaganda.
Yeah, I think there's actually a lot of potential for creating radio which is not just exciting, but also which is informative and which could help be a part of an important public discourse on political issues. We have our own Jersey BBC. We don't have to share that radio station with another part of the UK, and we do have journalists within the BBC who are more than capable of hosting decent political debates like that. You've mentioned Chris Rayner and Matthew Price. Both of them I think would do very well, and I've been involved in debates which Matthew Price has hosted before and done a very good job at. That I think should be a staple part of public radio, and remember, it is public radio. It's funded by us as licence fee payers, and I think we should be entitled to get decent political coverage like that, which is not just balanced, but which provides an opportunity for challenging them, because the media is meant to be checking up on the government. It's not meant to be supporting it.
Well, you said it there. There is a huge vacuum in political debate, live political debate at the minute on any of the state media. You did ask the BBC to appear with the Chief Minister on his monthly propaganda programme in order to provide balance. Was that suggestion well received?
I've made that suggestion in two forums. Once, when I was leaving the studio, I suggested it would be a good way to make exciting radio, and most of the journalists there agreed with me. I've also put the idea directly to Matthew Price, saying that I think it would be a good idea to allow people involved in politics in other sections of the spectrum, so not just from the government but also from the scrutiny side, also from the opposition side, to be there in the room with him, so that when he says something that we know is not true, we can call him out on it. Because at the end of the day, it's our jobs as politicians to be engrossed in this, pretty much 24/7 if you're like me and you dream about politics as well. We're there, we're getting the documents delivered to us daily, we see the numbers, we're the ones with scrutiny panels that look into things. We're in a really good position to be able to challenge them, and we have to be able to do it publicly so that the public know what's going on, so that they can be better informed. And I made this suggestion, and it hasn't been taken up, unfortunately. I think they should reconsider that, and I think they should take it up to make it.
Just so we're going to say that you asked to go on to provide balance with the Chief Minister on that, and they've refused you that opportunity.
No, they've said they won't allow me on the Politics Hour with the Chief Minister as a set in stone thing that happens every month. They'll provide me a platform every now and then, sometimes based on subject rather than a party political broadcast like the Chief Minister gets, which I don't think is sufficient. I don't think that does the job. So instead, outside of that, we need to come up with ideas and ways in which we can get our message across, and in which we can encourage proper, decent debate.
Well, if you don't mind me saying so, I mean, you are the leader of Jersey's only political party, opposition party. Mm-hmm. Surely the BBC, as part of its charter, should be offering you the same as they're offering the incumbent Chief Minister. If you are the only official leader of the opposition party, why have you got to think of different ways to try and get your message across there? Surely the BBC should be offering you the same as they're offering the Chief Minister, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that because of the contribution Reform Jersey is making to public political discourse, which we're contributing well above our weight. We make up only 6% of the state's assembly, yet we are contributing 68% of questions and 68% of non-executive propositions. So we're punching well above our weight. On that basis, what we are doing should be covered because it's in the public interest. The public need to know that it's not just the government who are bringing forward propositions. There is an alternative, a political party which is putting forward propositions, some of which the public may prefer to what the government does, some of which the public might not prefer, but they need to know so that they can make up that decision for themselves. And on that basis, given that we're the ones who are providing the only real voice of opposition, because we're much better organised than any other independent states member, I think that voice should be recognised in the media and that should be provided. And as I've always said, I will appear anytime, any place with the Chief Minister to thrash these sorts of issues out.
Well, on that note, we here at Team Voice are willing to host a live, interactive online debate between yourself and Chief Minister Ian Gorst. Is that something you'd be up for?
Absolutely. Anytime, any place. I'm up for debating with the Chief Minister on that. I'm also up for debating with other ministers on issues that come across, and I'm sure that many of my colleagues in Reform Jersey would also be happy to take part in any of those debates.
We'll try and make sure that happens.
Thank you.